Now, before this episode starts, I want to share my opinion on if I think the NBA should return or not. Now, as a fan, I would love to see the NBA return. I'm not going to deny that at all. But as an African American man, I also think it is smart for the NBA to return. Voices will still be heard. Not only can you talk on social media, but you will now have TV media coverage with you to continue spreading the message on a bigger platform. I think if there are any concerns, the players should have a list of demands and present them to the commissioner. Adam Silver is a player-friendly commissioner, and I think he will listen. But say he doesn't listen, and say the league doesn't listen, you stop playing. I don't care if you're in the training camp. I don't care if you're in the regular season, the playoffs, or the finals. The league is not listening to your demands and concerns. You stop playing. African American athletes have a huge impact, but especially the basketball players, because we see their faces. We know the players. They are not the team that is on the chest. A smart thing to do is to make sure the uniforms in the court all say BLM. And I hope the NBA returns, not only for the game of basketball, but to use their platform in the right way and to stand together. How's everybody doing? My name is Christopher Brown. You're now listening to Sports Talk with Chris. And this is episode 5, the return of the NBA. The NBA should be returning, but there's a new schedule in place for everything. On July 30th, teams will start to play their 8 regular season games. There are only 22 teams that will be participating in this new format. The current 16 playoff teams and the 6 teams that within 6 games of the A seed. Now I like this format because it gives those teams that could have made the playoffs if the season wasn't postponed a chance to. Something interesting they added to this new format is there could potentially be a play-in tournament for the last playoff spot. That will only happen if the 9th seed finished within 4 games of the current 8 seed. The teams would match up where the number 8 seed would only need 1 win to secure their position, and the 9th seed would need 2 wins to secure the 8th seed. The current playoff seed in the East is the Bucks at 1, Raptors 2, Celtics 3, Heat 4, Pacers 5, 76ers at 6, the Nets at 7, and the Magic at 8. Now I can see Philly moving up because they have an easier schedule than the Pacers and the Heat. The only non-playoff team in the East is the Wizards, and honestly I don't think they have enough on their team to make it to the playoffs. Now that's no shot at Bradley Beal though, who's had a great season and finally showed the world the player I knew he always was. Now when it comes to the West, the standings are Lakers 1, Clippers 2, the Nuggets 3, Jazz 4, Thunder 5, Rockets 6, Mavericks at 7, and Grizzlies at 8. Now the reason I love the Western Conference is because it is so competitive. By the time the playoffs start, seeds 2 through 8 could be totally different. The Lakers will remain the first seed, however, though, as they are 5.5 games ahead of the Clippers. Now the Clippers only have 4 more wins than the number 7 seed. It's crazy. The Clippers can end up possibly the 6th seed when the regular season ends. When it comes to the 8th seed, I'm really conflicted. The Grizzlies have played really good this year, led by young stars in the making, but there are 3 outside teams that can possibly sneak into the playoffs. They are the Blazers, Pelicans, and Kings. The Blazers should have been in the top 8, but their injuries and slow start really derailed their season. The Pelicans are a very talented team. Zion being hurt in the beginning of the year really gave them a truly disappointing start to the season, but since he returned from injury, he has led them to win 11 out of the last 17 games. They have, to me, one of the best defensive backcourts in Lonzo and Jrue Holiday, who is by far the most underrated player in the league. Brandon Ingram is showing potential in having a breakout year, averaging just under 25 points per game. They also have a knockdown shooter in JJ Redick, who has never missed the playoffs in his entire career. The Sacramento Kings are also in the mix. They have all the right pieces to be a playoff team, but the lack of experience is truly a problem. Harrison Barnes and Corey Joseph are the only 2 players on that team that have real playoff experience, and without a proven head coach, I'm not sure how they will handle it. The Spurs are not going to make it, especially after the news that LaMarcus Aldridge is having a shoulder surgery and missing the remainder of the season. The only true contenders to me to win the NBA Finals are the Lakers, the Clippers, the Bucks, the Sixers, the Nuggets, and the Celtics. The Lakers are not only the favorite to win the West, but the entire thing. They have the best duo in the league in Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Adding Markieff Morris and Dion Waiters are 2 great additions to me that make a significant impact when the playoffs starts. Now Morris is somebody that gives them the dog that they finally need on their team, and he's a power forward that goes stretch out the floor for the bench. Dion Waiters gives them somebody that can create their own offense with the ball in their hand on a consistent basis. Now the Clippers have one of the best rosters in the league, but what they lack is a quality big man. Guess they got Montrezl Harrell, but everybody knows he's really undersized. They picked up Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris to help finalize their roster. There they have a great defensive team, and their 2 stars are somebody that can go out and get 30 every game. Now the Bucks are a great defensive team and a good shooting team, but their downfall is that they do not show up in the playoffs. Now the Sixers have a complete starting lineup that can beat against anybody in the league, and additions of Allen Burke and Glenn Robinson III will strengthen their bench. Their problem is, though, they have no team identity, and their head coach does not know how to use their talent. Now, the Nuggets are a young, talented team that can get it done on both ends. Their play style is unique, and they are a tough matchup for anybody. Now, the Celtics, man, they was playing great after the All-Star break. They truly made them into a contender to the finals. Jason Tatum was on a whole other planet. Now, personally, I think the Lakers are going to come out of it, and the East is between the Sixers and the Bucks. The Sixers can beat the Bucks in a playoff series without a doubt, in my opinion, but they got to make it there first. The Sixers are so inconsistent. It's so hard to choose them right now. If they come back healthy and their chemistry is looking right, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the finals. Sadly, though, right now I got to go with the Bucks to come out the East because they're a more complete team than the Sixers. So my finals matchup is the Bucks and the Lakers, and I see the Lakers winning 4-2. Now, with the NBA returning, not only does that mean we get to see the playoffs, but we get to see who wins the regular season awards as well. Now, here's my prediction of who's going to win these awards. This year, the MVP comes down between two people, LeBron and Giannis. I personally think LeBron is the MVP. This season, LeBron averaged 25 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and led the league with over 10 assists per game. He led his team from one of the worst teams in the league to the number 1 seed in the West. Their last matchup, LeBron got the best of Giannis, putting up 37 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Now I want everybody to keep that same energy they had when LeBron was in the East, dominating everybody, putting up great numbers, and having great records every year. Everyone said he does not deserve the MVP because he's in a weak Eastern Conference. Well, like every year, the East is top heavy, so why aren't people holding Giannis to the same standard? Yes, Giannis is putting up great numbers this year, but he's not the MVP. MVP is the most valuable player. The player who wins this award should be the person that brings the most value to their team. In LeBron's case, not only does he have to score the ball at a high elite level, but he's also the team's best playmaker, so he has to get everybody involved. Now, when I watch Giannis play, I'm not that much impressed. He's a 6'11" rim runner. The only good elite thing he can do on offense is finish the ball at the basket. LeBron is having one of the best seasons of his career at year 17 after coming back from his first major injury last year. The Lakers are only 4 games back from the Bucks when it comes to the wins, so it's not like the Bucks are the overwhelming favorite and have the overwhelming best record in the league. LeBron didn't win the MVP in 2018 because most people thought James Harden had a better season, but when you look at the stats, LeBron damn near beats him in every single category. Give the king what he deserves, and that's his 5th MVP award. Now, when it comes to the Rookie of the Year award, I don't think there's any argument. Ja Morant by far is the Rookie of the Year this year. In his rookie season, he's already emerged as an elite point guard, not only in the Western Conference, but in the entire league. He averaged 17.6 points per game and 7 assists per game. Every game, he became a better player and a better leader while leading his team to the current number 8 seed in the West. Now, yes, Zion Williamson has came back and dominated the NBA since he returned from injury, but he has not played enough games to even be considered for this award. He averaged 23.6 points per game and 7 rebounds per game, but he only played 19 games. The only way I can even consider him as Rookie of the Year is if he comes back and puts up insane numbers when the NBA returns and leads his team to the playoffs, which honestly I do not see happening. Now, when it comes to the Defensive Player of the Year award, my top 3 candidates are Anthony Davis, Giannis, and Ben Simmons. When I look at AD, he's a great paint defender with the ability to step out and guard someone on the perimeter. This year, he averaged 1.5 steals per game and 2.4 blocks per game. He is their best defender on the 2nd best ranked defense, and he is a major factor in why they are the number 1 team in blocks per game this year. Giannis is someone who can guard every single position on the court. He's very lanky and very athletic, which gives him the ability to be the dominant defender. He's their best defender on the number 1 ranked defense this year. This year, he averaged 1 steal and 1 block per game. Now, my last candidate is Ben Simmons. In year 3, Ben has tremendously improved his defense, and this year he's leading the league in steals. He stands at 6'10", and being a point guard gives him the ability to shut down the other team's point guard by being so tall, strong, and quick. He has the ability to guard every single position on the court. Now that Jimmy is gone, Ben is the new lockdown defender for the 76ers, and this year he stepped up to the plate. In all honesty, this award could be a toss-up, and I'm not going to be surprised if any of them receive this award. Some honorable mentions that should be thrown into the mix are Pat Bev and Bam Adebayo. Now, when it comes to the Coach of the Year, my pick is Frank Vogel. It's simple for me. He led his team from one of the worst teams in the league to their best in his first year. I don't think there's any argument with that. Now, 2 other coaches that are strong candidates to me are Rick Carlisle, who potentially can have his Mavs teams the 4th seed in the West if they win all of their remainder games, or Nick Nurse, who somehow closed his team to the 2nd seed in the East without having a legitimate superstar. To me, the most improved player this year is none other than Brandon Ingram. Now, last year he averaged 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He shot 67% from the free throw line and 33% from the three. This year, he improved, averaging 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. He shot 38% from the three-point line this year, shooting about 7 threes a game, and he raised his free throw percentage to 85%. Now, he's the main scorer on a team where he didn't have to have the ball in his hands 24/7 to create his offense. He scored in transition and in the general flow of the offense. He's a gifted scorer, and this year he really got a chance to show his game to the world. It's crazy to me that people thought he was a bust, and he wasn't better than Kyle Kuzma when B.I. by far had the most potential. Not only did he prove his game in every single major statistical category, but he made his first All-Star game, which was well-deserved. This was just the start for B.I. Now he's going to keep showing us why he was getting compared to Kevin Durant. Thank you all for listening to my podcast today. If you have any questions or you want to talk about what I discussed in this podcast, you can reach me at Instagram and Twitter at sportsw_Chris. sportsw_Chris. Thank you all for listening and stay tuned for future episodes. Peace!